thing though, Port Adelaide were very pumped up. They had a pre-match warm-up just before the game, and they look very pumped up and focused, so look out North Melbourne.
Okay, thanks, Couchy. Let's see what Barnaby French can do to get them going. Well, he gets an absolutely shocking bounce, and his opposing number 31, McKernan, wins it. Incidentally, the Power won the toss. Steve Paxman doing that. Harvey's kick was smothered then, and they are kicking to the right of screen. No real breeze to speak of. And just a very good day. The Franco tackle is solid. He's been in excellent form. The Power's number 10, you can see there. And there's another good player for the Kangaroos, Anthony Stevens. Chris Mitchell, Justin Schmidt and Greg Scroop in charge of proceedings today. McKernan again goes with a roundhouse right just up towards centre wing. Here's Kingsley taking it from Bond and kicking in towards half forward. They want a good start, the Power. Archer had front spot, but he lost it and is quick to lay the tackle. It spills free to Josh Franco. He's trapped well. Simpson gets a hurry kick. Francis is in front and he takes a solid mark. Fabian Francis between centre wing and half forward. Wastes no time, goes down towards half forward. Going to be a free kick. Schofield wants to play on, but his teammate is going to take the kick 40 metres out, and with an excellent chance of converting. And it's a warm welcome back to a young man. He's certainly had his share of problems in Bowen Lockwood. Young man who came originally from Geelong College. 45 out, 45-degree angle, a big start for the Power. This is what they so desperately need. That's a very good kick from Bowen Lockwood. Welcome back. And at this stage, we welcome viewers in South Australia through SAS with the news that Port Power have won the toss. They're kicking to the right, and Bowen Lockwood in the opening minute or so has got them away to a flying start with Mick McGuan. As I welcome you and Drew Morford to our telecast. A very good goal.
Yeah, certainly a very good goal. The free kick was rewarded because he played in front. Lockwood is an exciting talent and kicked truly.
So Bowen Lockwood's first kick for the season is a goal, and Porter in front. Bounce in the middle, a centre square infringement, and it's going to be North Melbourne's or Kangaroos free kick. Yeah,
it looked like it was against Shane Brewer, who was lined up at centre half forward, picked up by John Blakey. There's his opponent now.
McKernan takes it quickly, off to Blakey. His kick inside the 50. Carey contests, but can't come down with the mark. Wilson a little hand pass. Stevens on his bike. The kick short of centre wing, and it's marked out there by Schofield. Back to Stevens. Over centre wing, and Brewer takes the mark. Port have started pretty well. They've been in a hell of a slump lately. Eagleton's kick very wide as he was pulled off his kick just as he was delivering it, and it's out of bounds on the 50.
Yeah, there's some interesting matchups too, Drew. Centre half forward for the Kangaroos. Paxman is picking up Wayne Carey. Ken Kingsley, who's playing his first game today, is picked up by Daniels. Also, Jason McCartney's got the job on Warren Treadray at centre half forward. Archer's picking up Chalmers, who lined up in a forward pocket. And Mickey Martin has got the job on Brendan Lade, who started at full forward.
We've reached the expected top in Melbourne, 17 degrees. A fantastic day here at the MCG. Port, who have lost 5 out of their last 6 games, have started pretty well and lead the Kangaroos at the moment. And we've been playing 3.5 minutes.
Yes, Port currently standing at 4 wins and 5 losses. Made a very positive start with 3 straight wins. Bell, excellent in the State of Origin. Gets a high kick back towards centre wing. Bond unable to take the mark. Burgoyne is there as well for the Power. And there's Scholl for the Kangaroos.
Sandy, interchange bench for Port Adelaide is Donald Dickey, Jared Polden, Nathan Steinburner and Stuart Dew.
Thanks, Couchy. Barnaby French, Corey McKernan. McKernan finding form, and French being asked to do a lot because of some severe injuries. Treadray did well to gain front spot, but then was unable to complete the mark. King defends well, as he always does. Off he goes to Anthony Stevens, and the little boy from Shepparton kicks it up towards half forward. The Roos go into their attacking zone. It's a bad bounce for Brewer. Good one for the Kangas. The hand pass comes the way of Blakey. He goes wide to Pike. Martin Pike on the left foot, passes in towards half forward. Almost thrown out towards Simpson. He's got to go again, and there will be a ball up on the 50. That little flick out, I think, came from Scotty Welsh, who came dashing through. All to no avail. Simpson unable to take it. And so a bounce just on 50. seemed to come off McKernan's head. Stevens onto the left foot by Anthony Stevens. Away to the left and one behind. Not a huge crowd here today at the MCG.
Sandy, the interchange bench for the Kangaroos is Matthew Capuano, Shane Clayton, Brady Rawlings and Shane Motlop.
Shannon Motlop, good luck to him from North Adelaide, playing in his first game. Both he and Kent Kingsley, two 20-year-olds that the Kangaroos have brought in. We wish them well.
Interesting that they could find room for two newcomers. They've won their last 5 games straight. There's a free kick, pushing the back. There's certainly no doubt about that against Harwood. Chance for the Kangaroos. Scholl spins out of and back into trouble. They've lost it. Eagleton goes back with the hand pass. Bond, half-distance pass is good. Into midfield. Kingsley. Burgoyne drawing a man. Stevens going past. He drew the man who fell over David King. Burgoyne still going. Approaches the 50. Great run by Peter Burgoyne. Long to full forward. Chance right in front. And the mark dragged down by Treadray.
Yeah, that's a terrific run. Most clubs in the competition have got a rule that if the player decides to take the ball forward of centre and bounce the ball, you must use the ball very effectively on the way through. On that occasion, Burgoyne was a player that took upon himself to actually balk 2 Kangaroos players. He assessed his option, kicked to the hot spot area of the ground, and there was Treadray, who took a well-judged mark in front of his opponent and Jason McCartney.
20 goals for the season, right in front. That's now 21.
Yeah, terrific start from Port Adelaide's point of view. Burgoyne, as we know, is certainly an exciting player. Plenty of legs, can run the ball very well from back to forward. On that occasion, he used the ball very effectively, and that's the reason why the run was there from Nick Stevens. He was there for the overlap. David King went to ground. Terrific balk inside around Stevens. Stevens is a renowned tackler, but that's a great weighted kick in front of the goal. That's where the defence panics.
Terrific start by the Power. Goals to Treadray and Lockwood. French again to lock arms with McKernan. Burgoyne, however, sends the Power down towards the 50 once again. Franco, oh, he's an excitement machine. Gets ripped off the kick and it spills to Martin Pike. Kicks blindly and high and wide. Out towards Stevens and McKernan. Bang, they crash into each other. Down they go. Here's Winston Abraham. Got a decent old ride against the Power in Canberra. Kicked the goal of the year. Here he goes with Fabian Francis. Still Abraham. Eventually gets it out. That was well done. Finding Peter Bell, who runs out of room. But in the meantime, we've got a free kick. And it's going to go the way of Winston. Kangaroo fans enjoying that. Abraham, a centering kick. Big pack at half forward. No one able to take it cleanly. French runs into trouble. Down they go as Burgoyne applies a tackle. And he's been pinged. So the advantage is paid and everything going the way of the Power at the minute. Treadray needs someone going past. The loping hand pass to Bond. Look out, you're in trouble. Back he goes towards Brewer. He shoots in towards goal. They've got another one. This is a hot start by the Power.
Here in Sandy, without a doubt, this Port Adelaide team have certainly come here to play. You can just sort of sense when the bodies are going into the ground level contest, it's the Port Adelaide players that are getting there first and pushing through their body with the momentum to actually win the ball. That is a terrific starting point when you're actually accepting the challenge that you might call it mission impossible to play here against the Kangaroos on their own turf. They have come here to play. Terrific start from Port Adelaide's point of view.
Well, this season, Port have won in Sydney and Brisbane. Can they complete the trifecta and win in Melbourne? Gee, they've opened this game beautifully. Palm down by McKernan to Stevens. Hurried kick out of the middle. Oh, great pace shown by Winston Abraham to get there and reach the mark. Long way out. Kick by Abraham to full forward. Carey caught behind. Man in front takes the mark. Welsh.
Yeah, just superior judgment on that occasion, Drew. Got behind his opponent in Harwood on that occasion. Welsh is a very good marking player. Gives an extra foil to the Kangaroos' forward line structure. Is a goal kicker. Much needed one here from the Kangaroos' point of view.
Right in front, 30 metres out, and kicks the Kangaroos first.
Yeah, there's some interesting matchups in midfield. No doubt Mark Williams has gone with the speed factor in having Kingsley, Franco, and also Burgoyne in that part of the ground. France has got the job on Abrahams, and that'll be an interesting matchup across half-back from Port Adelaide's point of view. It'll certainly have to play tight because Abrahams is an excitement machine when he does get the ball forward of centre. Very important next couple of minutes.
Scotty Welsh starts to close the gap. 7 points to 18. McKernan up against French. Both a little early. Stevens bounces through. Out it comes to Bell. He sends them inside 50 once again, the Kangaroos. Carey is lurking dangerously there. Out wide towards Scholl. He's in trouble. Almost threw it out. The umpire says play on, so Kingsley does. Kicks it back over centre. Here comes Mickey Martin, and he's got plenty of support. Pickett is right there with him. Good shepherding, sees him clear, kicks down towards half forward. The opportunity now for Kingsley, the newcomer. A centering ball into centre half forward. Big pack of players. Scholl's at the back, tries to get the hand pass out. No one able to pick it up cleanly. Eventually it was Francis out to Bond. Bond steadies. Sweeps the hand pass wide towards Burgoyne. He finds Josh Franco. Franco comes inboard and's got Kingsley at half back. A good start by the Power. This is Michael Wilson. And it's a disappointing kick by Wilson. Shannon Motlop takes it and plays on to Peter Bell.
Bell, outstanding last round against Fremantle over in Perth. Here's the man who won the medal, Harvey. The kick towards centre half forward or just inside. They're a long way from goal. Snap for goal by Kingsley. And in his first game, he bounces through his first goal. Kingsley, first game for the Kangaroos, goal in his opening quarter.
Yeah, terrific snap goal there by Kent Kingsley. I wanted terrific to see the enthusiasm of his teammates all running to congratulate him, give him a pat on the back for a job well done. Certainly was a job well done, got front of the contest. He was initially in that marking contest, but the ball was tapped back there by Carey into the path of Kingsley, and that's great awareness for goal. Good snap.
Kent Kingsley will long remember that kick. His first at senior level, his first goal. And the Kangaroos come back. Stevens can't take it out of the middle. Kingsley can. The high punt up towards half forward. Oh, Pickett floated across the pack. Was unable to take the mark. The door may open for Franco, but he's claimed at the bottom. Martin and Pickett coming in over the top.
And Sandy, Shannon Grant come off for Shannon Motlop for his first run.
They've actually swapped over. Mickey Martin's now picking up Warren Treadray, knowing that he's a leaping marking player. Mick will try to play body on body. Jason McCartney's now picking up Brendan Lade.
Treadray attempting to do the ruck work. Kingsley kicks in towards full forward. The mark taken on the last line of defence by Glenn Archer. Archer looks to the outer side and he's got Harvey. What a player he was last week. He's got Stevens on centre wing. They can set up the loose man here. Spearing it in towards half forward and Wayne Carey. Carey looks down towards the 50. This is dangerous for the Power. Also lurking again is Kingsley.
Yeah, terrific run there by Kingsley. Good build-up out of defence there by the Kangaroos. First of all, the stable mark there by Archer in front of his opponent in Chalmers. He got the ball wide to the outer flank. There was a number of Kangaroos players free. Primarily the ball finished with Anthony Stevens, who found Carey in the centre corridor, who in turn wheeled back off the mark quickly. Good percentage stuff to do that because Kingsley, who was the player who ran free into their forward 50 unopposed, and Carey found him.
South Australian viewers will know him well. This 20-year-old played with Woodville West Torrens. That kick just away to the right. His contribution, 1 goal, 1 out of this Kangaroos tally.
Interesting to see that McKernan's also come off the ground in the first 14 minutes or so of play. Capuano's back onto the ground. But the Port Adelaide have certainly been impressive in this first opening stanza. Their attack at the ball has certainly been a delight to watch, and also their execution by foot.
Well, here's Peter Burgoyne. Power kicked the first 3 goals. The Kangaroos have kicked the next 2. It's taken quite a while. The Kangaroos fans getting on his back. He clears the 50, and the ball just arrived before the spoil. Harwood, James Hird lookalike, out towards the southern stand wing. Treadray a long way up the ground. He juggles but can't complete the mark. And Martin works it towards the line, but it's not out. It's still there for the Kangaroos. Terrific stuff. Stevens runs onto it. Centering ball. Kingsley again in the chop. And Carey. They hit the ground. Brent Harvey. Motlop in there. He's also in his first game. Can he get a goal? The King's got it. Carey goes. And the Kangaroos in front.
Yeah, terrific game of footy we're actually witnessing here at the MCG between two sides. One very disciplined in their approach to where they kick the ball. The Port Adelaide team no doubt try to find somebody on the way through and backing their foot skills and hand skills. But on this occasion, watch the balk, the sidestep by Carey. Terrific stuff in close and had the awareness to kick accurately for goal. That's leadership stuff. Well done, Wayne Carey.
Carey, Welsh and Kingsley, the goal kickers for the Kangaroos, and suddenly they lead by 2 points after the Power were like lightning out of the blocks, booting the opening 3. Good start to this game. Laid on the ball, and we welcome him back, and I'm sure Port fans will as well.
Gee,
heavy clash there.
Interesting.
Simpson picks himself up, but that could be Bond.
Yeah, Bond. He actually come off the back of the square unopposed. They've actually brought Barnaby French, I think, has come off the ground. Lade's gone up into the ruck, or actually French has gone to full forward. They've actually just made the conventional change. Bond's come off the square. Basically, Jason McCartney at this stage is accountable for Bond. That's the matchup. But that was terrific courage by Bond. He charged into that contest. But that has typified the approach Port Adelaide have gone into this game. They've wanted to make it a real physical contest. We see here, that was him charging off the back of the square. There's Simpson. The head-eye clash was there. Contact was made to his head. Rightfully so, the umpires deemed a free kick to Bond. But that's terrific courage. Eyes only for the ball. That's the start. That's the attitude that Mark Williams certainly wants from his players.
Mick, a crunch from the boundary line. It was pretty loud.
You heard it down there, Couty?
Yeah, it wasn't nice.
That's pretty reckless when it's high, when it gets the bloke on the head.
So Polton comes on to replace Bond for the moment. Couchy, I'm sure, will let us know exactly what Bond requires to get back out onto the ground.
He looks a bit dazed, Sandy.
Yeah, it might be a little stitch-up job too, and well, we'll just hope that it's not too serious. So plays goes on now. Burgoyne takes it and gives it away to Kingsley. He's on half-back for the Power. Looks up towards Barnaby, French and co on half-forward. French got a hand to it. Waiting down was Franco. Oh, claim from behind, loses it. Could prove costly too. Stevens charges out of defence, kicks up towards half-forward. Daniels came over the top to spoil and poked it down towards Nick Stevens. Stevens wide towards centre wing. McKernan, the opportunist, does it well. Probably a little hand pass is difficult for Simpson. McKernan goes again, pokes it again wide to Anthony Stevens, almost coating it, and he'll get a free kick.
Stevens on Stevens.
He actually realised that the head-high contact was going to be there. He dropped his knees, and that smart play there by Stevens. Knew the contest was going to be there, but ducked his head and got the free kick.
Oh, an interesting kick. Welsh may finish up with it. No, he doesn't. He loses it. Couple of points in it at the moment.
Oh, good edge.
Brewer gets it away once again. Chance for the Power to clear through Polton. Just come on the ground. Jared Polton down towards half forward. Martin slaps it out to Pickett. Byron Pickett is on half back. He finds McCartney, another one into Blakey. Blakey comes wider to Brent Harvey, and Harvey will steady it now for the Kangaroos. Horrendous kick, a nightmare. Polton, the hand pass to French. The big man lopes away. Back to Polton again. He's in trouble. A 360 before finding Stevens. Stevens gets another one to Wilson. He's off to Franco. Franco looks towards right half forward. Lockwood's out of position, and it's all Kangaroos. Simpson takes the mark.
Away to Martin Pike. Kangaroos leading by 2 points after conceding the first 3 goals of the game. Kicked by Pike with plenty of distance to the centre of the ground. Good mark. Fabian Francis. And he'll take his kick from just behind the centre circle. Out wide he goes to Lade. Lade to half forward. Dew started on the bench.
Stevens should keep running.
He can kick it a mile, but he's a mile from goal. Man on the mark's about 60, just over 60 metres out. Bit of height on the forward line for Port Power, though. He's gone for the torp. He's given it everything and has missed by 40 metres.
Yeah, that's the type of kick the forwards don't want coming in. Just to kick the ball 15, 20 metres from goal, directly in front. That's what puts pressure on the opposition defence. Interesting, when Bond come off the ground, it was Harwood who's gone forward to play on McCartney as a conventional centre forward. The other end of the ground, Polton's come on the ground to play as a halfback flanker.
McCartney, punched down by Carey, who's had the number 2 haircut this week. Haven't quite seen Wayne Carey looking like this
Drew,
in his league career.
Just an update on Shane Bond. He's got a cut in the cheek and just getting stitched up inside.
Okay, thanks, Couchy. Yes, the King looking very summary. Lade, Capuano, Franco. Down towards the 50. Powell would love another one here. Tredrea goes over the top. And they've got the opportunity to do it, and he's done it. Bowen Lockwood. 2 to Lockwood. 4 to the Power.
Yeah, terrific stuff there by Bowen Lockwood, and as Sandy intimated early in the call, it's great to see him back. He's a young player with a lot of ability. He's a leaping, marking forward who's got a fair amount of speed across the ground also. But that's great awareness there by Tredrea. As we know, he's a very quick player. But to kick a goal, running away from goal across your left shoulder, it's an uncanny skill to have for a tall player. He certainly did it with ridiculous ease.
Port Power back in front. They lead by 4 points. Bowen Lockwood, 2 goals from 3 kicks in his comeback game. Palmed down in the middle by Capuano, but he doesn't clear the area. Now Stevens, Anthony Stevens, kick up short of the 50. Paxman clears. He's got the job on Carey. It bounces through a big pack. Mick Martin at the back. Little left foot around the corner is good. Simpson. Pike. Wobbly old kick by Pike up towards centre wing. Abraham taps for a teammate. Motlop leaves it. Bell. Kicked by Peter Bell. Wide for Carey. Running out of room and outnumbered. He's turned it over. Taken by Nick Stevens. Any amount of power players here. Kingsley holds onto it. Kingsley's on both sides. Adam Kingsley off the left short to Dew. Dew across the ground. Beautiful. Eagleton, the left footer, right in front. 55 out. He goes wide. Oh, good mark. Gee, they've got some height down there. And Chalmers marks about 42 metres from goal. By the time you've got Chalmers, Tredrea drifts down, Lockwood. Interesting looking forward line now, Mick.
Yeah, certainly is a potent. They're all mobile, and that's the key, I think, Drew. More often than not, when tall players don't mark the ball, they become slow players at ground level. But these 3 players in their forward 50 are all mobile, and they can certainly take a mark.
Kicks from 48 metres, Chalmers. Away to the right for a minor score.
Just in that build-up, Drew, I think it was just so important that Kingsley didn't panic. He certainly didn't do that. Looked like a North Melbourne player come off the interchange bench. He was actually going to handball the ball forward, but he had great presence of mind to hold the ball, assess his options on the way through, find a teammate in Dew, who in turn gave it to Eagleton, who in turn found Chalmers.
Pickett takes it from Bell. Kicks up towards centre wing. That's a disappointing kick. Kingsley. Tackled late, but Pickett again will repel. Very good player, this young man. To the run of McCartney, who goes wider to Pike. Slightly hesitant, but eventually gets it away in towards the middle. Harvey. Archer streaming down the ground. He looks up towards the 50, towards Carey. Kingsley came steaming out. The Stevens hand pass is going to be okay. Fabian Francis takes it away from Paxman, says, I'll do it. And he does, to the outer side. King late on the scene. He's got to beat a couple. Well, it could have been a free kick, but it's okay now for the Power because Eagleton's away. Up towards the pocket, and the mark is taken there by Mark Harwood.
Just so obvious at this stage of the first quarter, Sandy, that Port Adelaide, when they're coming forward, the responsibility of the players forward of the ball carrier must come and present themselves at that player. They're looking for short options on the way through. Therefore, it makes the defensive group from Kangaroos more accountable. Instead of isolating themselves and sort of trying to overplay the situation off their man, they have to commit themselves to play defensively and play alongside their opposition players.
So the young man from the Tassie Mariners has kicked a couple of goals in his short career. 2 goals, 2 for the season. And he hasn't added in the goal department there. 2-3 now. The Power by a goal, with just under 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. A lot of cloud cover creeping over the MCG as Pickett brings it back into play. It's a lovely kick. McKernan got in front of the pack and it finished with him. His short kick was partly smothered, but the Kangaroos have got the numbers. Simpson takes the hand pass, kicks up towards Shannon Grant, who's back, gives it away once more. Now all of a sudden they're up towards centre half forward, inside the 50. Stevens is in front of the pack, and he can defend with a hand pass to Brewer. Links it across the middle, then comes wide. Now the Power can set something up here. The hand pass is good. Eagleton's away, he's 50 out. Wilson was the man who lent him good support. Great smother by Pickett. Lands, however, with Burgoyne. Burgoyne goes for goal. It's a long kick, but it's just away to the right and one behind.
Looks like Franco's actually done something to his right ankle. He's limping off the ground. He's been replaced by Schofield. He is quite an important player to this Port Adelaide team. He's already had 4 possessions. Be interesting to see what Couchy reports down there at ground level to see what injury with Franco it actually is.
Carey was outnumbered, and the punch came down to Schofield. He centres the ball perfectly, and young Lockwood again, and has a chance to kick his 3rd goal.
And that's the problem with the zone defence, isn't it? If the ball gets rebounded fairly quickly, more often than not, you'll see the players who are defending the ball from the Kangaroos kick in. They're unopposed because they're basically guarding an area. Lockwood was on his own because Pike was trying to run the ball out and be an option on the way through. The ball was turned over here on centre wing. Port Adelaide players won the ball, found Lockwood by himself 40 metres from goal.
Former champion schoolboy rower. Well, he sat down on his backside as he kicked for the goal, but he kicked it anyway. A hat-trick in the first quarter for Bowen Lockwood, and Port lead by 13 points.
Yeah, he certainly is a talent. There's no doubt about that. A player at 6'3", 6'4", can run, can jump, can kick goals. They're worth their weight in gold. But here's this turnover. Terrific defensive play there by Paxman, knowing that Schofield was in the right spot, got front of the contest. And that is a terrific delivery to your forward on your way through. Certainly found him unopposed. Good kick by Schofield.
What a comeback by Bowen Lockwood. 3 goals. The Power 5-3. The Kangaroos are 3-2. 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. It's been a good one too. Burgoyne, clever little hand pass out of the middle. Eagleton, an interesting kick down towards half forward. Martin got one hand to it. Pickett just casually cuts across that half back line, gets around Stevens. It doesn't elude them all, however. Loses it, picked up by Stewie Dew. Bangs a long bomb in towards goal, and that was an opportunity going begging for the Ricky Ponting lookalike.
Sandy, just an update on Josh Franco. Cork right thigh.
Thank you, Couchy.
Stewie Dew was unhappy with himself there. He had a great opportunity, even though he's a long way out. Port kick in, Burgoyne marks. And Port playing all over the Kangaroos at the moment. Burgoyne centres Eagleton. Oh, it's a mark, yes, the mark, not the free kick. And Eagleton right in front, and this beautiful looking left footer should drill this. Amazing that
you called it before, Mick, that they were pumped up before the game, ready to play. They were very focused on just in the warm-up there. You could see they said that to get off to a good start, and that's what they've done. They've come here to play today, and Port Adelaide are going to be very hard to beat against North Melbourne. They've got to be right on the job.
Yeah, Couchy, just down at ground level, does it appear that the Kangaroos aren't really accountable at this stage?
No, they're not switched on at all, Mick. You just see they just think they're going to go through the motions and win this.
Eagleton. I've written this down for a goal already. Off the left, and he hooked it. Went for the distance, so get the rubber out.
Oh, what a mess.
Well, Dew had a great chance, and I thought Eagleton was a certainty then. They could be a mile in front.
Yeah, they've certainly controlled this first quarter. It's been 18 entries into their forward 50 to 11. Very rarely do you see North Melbourne beaten in the first quarter in terms of entries into their forward 50.
David King brings it back into play. Schofield in trouble, has lost it. Look at Winston Abraham. spins out of trouble, then kicks clear, but the direction leaves a little to be desired. Daniels was there, Paxman also for the power, and finally taken over by Kent Kingsley. Kicked a goal earlier for the Kangaroos. Gave the power a 3-goal start. Overhauled them, but now have again been overtaken. Burgoyne. Well, he almost threw that out to Barnaby French, who gave it to Brewer. He's in trouble. He almost dropped it. Eventually, it's Harvey who floats it wide and out of bounds on the full.
Interesting to see the last couple of minutes of play. Lade's pushed back to fill that hole with Carey and also Scholl. We'll see him get used here. He's a player by himself in that defensive 50 for Port Adelaide. Good work there by Mark Williams.
Schofield, Lade and Stevens going right across the half-back line and now going back the other way. Just trying to set something up. Polton's in trouble. He's gone. When you've got a little terrier like Brett Harvey on your hammer, you've got to get rid of the football.
Yeah, that is terrific work there by Harvey. He charged 15 to 20 metres to get to that contest. Initially, Poulton played on. But great work there by Harvey.
And here's Peter Bell, inside 50. Tight angle, goes across the face of goal. Kingsley was there, he got a hand to it. Shannon Grant tries to soccer it clear. Eventually it's Stevens who shovels it over, conceding a behind.
Yeah, just unfortunate. Ken Kingsley just couldn't hold the ball. He'd done everything right. The Port Adelaide player really tried to make contact with the ball on the way through. It's always difficult knowing that a player's coming directly at your body in the marking contest. But in the end, good defensive play by Port Adelaide to concede a point.
Francis finds Daniels. It's his kick away on the siren, so a very, very good first quarter here at the MCG by the visitors.
If you're not switched on at the start of the game, Sandy.
All right, well, let's switch on the second quarter, Couchy. Away we go with Eagleton getting the first kick. Down towards the centre wing area where Nick Stevens is lurking. He gives it away to Burgoyne. Oh, if it's sat, he could have just about gone all the way. He gives it to Stevens, who should kick a goal from 46 metres. It's a high drop punt, and he's got it. Great start by the power. And at the moment, the Kangaroos are powerless.
Yeah, they certainly are, Sandy. And at this stage of the game, it's the midfield from Port Adelaide has certainly taken control. At quarter time, 3 players, Burgoyne, Eagleton and Kingsley, accumulated 28 possessions between them. They had 5 clearances from the stoppages, that being boundary throw-ins or ball-ups around the ground. But their entries into the forward 50 are telling. They've had 10 entries between those 3 players, and that's critical.
Well, a fantastic goal in the opening 30 seconds of the second quarter. 41 to 21, a 20-point lead to Power. Kick smothered in the middle. Bond is back. Adam Kingsley. They're just barreling the ball forward. Brewer comes out wide. That's terrific. Polton off the left. High towards the 50. Martin trying to spoil Treadray from behind. Does so. It comes to Harwood. The boy from Tassie looks okay. Brewer cuts into the 50. Goes for goal. He's away to the right. It comes back. Another one. Brewer's second. And the Power electrifying.
Yep, certainly it is their speed around the ground that is causing concerns for the North Melbourne Kangaroos team. Already they've had 2 entries into their forward 50 in the second quarter. It was 18 to 12. They've kicked 2 goals, but it's their efficiency once they get the ball into their forward 50 are causing problems. Their recovery at ground level is far superior to the Kangaroos team.
Well, this is amazing. Shane Brewer gets his second. Paul Couch has just got a message from Dennis Pagan to go out and wake up every kangaroo on the paddock because they're dozing at the minute. Let's see what they can do. In the middle of the ground, bad bounce for Eagleton, good one for Lade. He's got players streaming down the ground. Fabian Francis is on the end of it. King gives chase, he doesn't get him. Francis goes long, goes for goal. It's kicked another one. Raining goals here at the MCG, and it's all one-way traffic with the Power.
Certainly is, Sandy, and it's 5 unanswered goals. The last 2 of the first quarter, and of course the 3 first 3 of the second quarter, but this is magnificent build-up once again by the Port Adelaide team. They've just got so much run in their legs. You look at the Kangaroos team, they are struggling to cover the ground. No doubt they certainly need a lift from some player. Maybe it's Stevens, maybe it's Bell, maybe it's Simpson. They certainly have to lift their work rate.
Dennis Pagan shell-shocked at the moment. The Kangaroos have won 5 in a row and they're being belted at the moment by Port Power. Comes down to Burgoyne. Here we go again. Burgoyne inside 50. Treadray, good hands. Sweeps the hand pass. Eagleton, great pick-up. Oh, just offline with his kick. Behind.
She's there running.
Mick, is it time to bring Wayne Carey down to centre-half back just to stop the flow and get back into the game?
Yeah, that could be an option. They certainly aren't getting the ball into that forward part of the couch. That's the reason why McKernan's gone forward there also. They certainly need some run from somewhere. No doubt a Bell or a Stevens has really got to stabilise this situation and show their leadership characteristics and get this team back focused.
Kangaroos bring it out of defence, but Port at the moment are back to the form which saw them reach the final of the Ansett Cup and win their first 3 games. We haven't seen this for about 6 weeks.
Just no rebound out of their defence also. David King's a player that we know is such an important player for the Kangaroos. He's only had 3 kicks. Certainly have to generate some run from somewhere.
Blakey gets a kick down towards half-forward. That was very clever play by McKernan. Shannon Grant should finish it off with a hand pass to Kingsley, and he kicks a much-needed goal. A couple of superb individual efforts there, Mick.
Yep, certainly, Sandy, and that's a downside. If you take Wayne Carey out of that forward line, you'd lose that contest, and that invites other players to run onto it. See that terrific body strength. It wasn't he actually got the ball to his own hands. He actually provided the contest so the ball kept going forward towards the Kangaroos' goals. And that allowed Shannon Grant to run onto that loose ball, who in turn fed the handball over the top to Kingsley, who kicked his second, an easy one.
Margin back to 27 points with Kingsley getting his second for the Kangaroos. Kent Kingsley back in the middle again, but this has been a sensational start by the Power in this second quarter. They are winning it out of the middle with monotonous regularity. Martin steamroll is going to get a free kick.
Sandy, just on that centre bounce setup, I just question whether Capuano should just start getting up and getting the ball forward and letting the Bells and the Harveys and the Stevens to run onto it. This stage he's trying to just find somebody. Burgoyne's getting there too quick, and he's the player who certainly have won the centre breaks early in this second quarter.
If it's not Burgoyne, it's Kingsley. They're unbelievable, those two. Polden has it held. There'll be another ball up.
Peter Burgoyne's been getting the first possession in the middle time after time. 15 possessions already at the 6-minute mark, second quarter.
On centre wing, Capuano's coming off. Scholl is coming on. Stevens plucks it out of the air. That was Anthony, but he couldn't get an effective kick. Kingsley almost had his head taken off. Courtesy of David King.
We've got King Carey, David King, and Kingsley on each side.
Kent and Adam. To half-forward, Treadray's got a fine pair of hands.
He's a talent, isn't he, Sandy?
Yes. Very, very talented player. Kicks long, puts them inside 50 once again. Lockwood a little too early. Brewer tries to pluck it out of the pack, is not successful. Donald McGee, but it was thrown to you, Donald. The advantage is going to be paid. Well, that's no advantage, is it? Well, Dew has missed. It was a free to the Power, but is that a fair advantage, Mick?
No doubt it is, Sandy. Because he was in space, the umpire can't control his ball delivery.
True. Hence
the reason why there's the advantage of him running into space. The Port Adelaide player should have kicked that goal. Because he didn't, that doesn't mean that it's deemed a disadvantage.
He just should have kicked it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. To the back.
Mighty Mick Martin. It's been an avalanche that Mick's been facing in the Kangaroos defenders. Martin comes out wide for McCartney. Well done, Treadray. Didn't take the mark, but he followed up. His second effort was good. To the top of the goal square. Chance here for the Power. Lockwood was there. Dew should give it off. He does. Well done. Stevens marks right in front. Well, Nick Stevens come out for his second goal.
Yeah, this is one you can pencil down.
Oh, he'll kick this, no trouble.
He's made a mess of his book already.
No, this bloke has got terrific skills. Magnificent shot for goal, very poised. Beautiful technician of the drop punt.
So he's kicking from about 30 metres. It gave the umpire something to think about, but he's kicked it.
Tell you what, Mick, take a couple of deep breaths, my boy.
Yeah, a little bit lucky. He actually floated the ball through, but Stevens was never in doubt. But this is a terrific kick there by Treadray. He had two players unopposed. There they are, Dew and also Lockwood. Unfortunately, the ball carried a little bit far, but that's great evasive ability by Dew. No doubt he's a natural left footer. He knew that, but he knew he could get back onto his left and find Stevens by himself.
2 goals to Nick Stevens. Again, the margin out to 34 points. And that's going to take some catching, even at this stage. The Power are switched on today. Don't worry about that. French got a hand to it. Burgoyne again takes it out of the middle. Down towards the 50 they go. The Kangaroos are in a state of shock at the moment. Donald Dickey. Fresh on the ground, goes short to the left foot of Stuart Dew. Gives a little ground, trying to set it up for Kingsley. Pickett will intercept. And he does. Off he goes to Simpson. For the moment, the Kangaroos out of the danger zone, but that's a poor kick and the mark taken by Harwood. They're looking very, very good at the minute, the Power. Burgoyne.
This bloke is playing a sensational game.
Kingsley. Still going. He's taken on a couple and he's beaten them. Now he pumps it high and long in towards full forward. And Brendan Lade has taken the mark with the opportunity now of booting goal number 1 for him, but yet another one for the Power.
Yeah, terrific mark there by Lade. Tall players is such an important commodity in their forward 25 metres from goal. But this quarter, in the second quarter, it's been the Port Adelaide centre clearances 5-1 against the Kangaroos. Burgoyne's had 3, Eagleton's had 2 of those clearances. Inside 50s, 9-1. They're controlling this game, every facet.
The Power welcome back Lockwood. Have they done the same to Lade with a goal? No. One behind.
Sandy, there's just been an injury for North Melbourne. Shannon Motlops had a kick on his fibula, so he's a little bit sore, so he may not come on for the rest of the game.
Okay, Couchy, that Gummer's getting a fair workout from D. Pagan now.
Sandy, it's 33 possessions to 12 in this second quarter. Nearly 3 times the amount of the ball the Port Adelaide team have had. That's an amazing statistic in terms of winning the ball.
Well, the margin shot out to 35 points after being 14 at quarter time. Here's Peter Bell. Someone's got to try and fire up this Kangaroo outfit, otherwise they're going to get poleaxed. Scholl plays on quickly, kicks it up towards half forward. Big pack of players there, but that's a fine mark taken by Polton.
Jared Polton goes across the half-back line, close to the boundary line, and Nick Stevens, who's kicked 2 goals in this quarter, here he is about 55 metres out from his defensive goal. Midway through the second term, and Port Adelaide are giving the Kangaroos a nice old touch-up. Harwood back to Stevens. Look at the space. Their team system is working an absolute treat. I reckon they must have spent the last fortnight working on this. Dickey from defence up towards centre wing. Carey punches from behind. He had to play the role of defender there. Down to Blakey. Long kick to the forward line. Harwood couldn't mark, but he followed up. Ridden into the ground by Winston. The umpire comes in and is going to ball it up.
Yeah, you can just see Port Adelaide are trying to transfer play every opportunity. No doubt they believe they've got the legs to cover the ground a little bit quicker than the Kangaroos team. Hence, that's the reason why they're adapting that style of play.
French. Polton, very good. Out towards the members' wing. Dew in front. Tried to knock the ball on rather than take clean possession. And accidentally it came back to him. He had clean possession. And he gained 30 metres and it's out at centre wing. Well done, Ricky.
The challenge has been thrown to Anthony Stevens. There's no doubt he's got to accept that Peter Burgoyne, his opponent, is getting a lot of the ball. He's really just got to go and play some body on body, have that steely mind approach that we know that he's got. Example, the Shane Crawford contest that he was thrown to about 4 weeks ago at Waverley. He accepted it that night, rose beyond the odds. He's certainly got to challenge that again today.
Well, that tells the story, really. That Simpson kick of the day so far. Harwood may make them pay, but he's just as bad as he puts it onto the chest of Mickey Martin. Now, Martin kicks back towards half-forward. Paxman was all over Carey. Carey will do the shepherding for Scholl, but he's out-bustled in the end by Michael Wilson, and he pokes it over the line for another throw. And it's amazing, it was just a couple of weeks ago, Mick, we saw St Kilda absolutely rout Port by some 62 points, and you really did wonder then what their future was for the year. They come out today and they're playing like absolute champions.
Yeah, well, that just goes to show football's a week-by-week game. Depends on attitude, depends on the psyche of the players. Here's Carey.
Good defensive work, and with sayings like that, you could become a coach.
I thought that was
just a
cliche
proposition.
Yeah. Well, it is. There's no doubt about that. As much as we say it, it is, because you're dealing with minds of bodies. Some are sorer than others, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the competitive attitude of 18 men against 18 men.
That was interesting.
It's a goal.
That is a goal. Now, who are we going to credit it to?
Harvey.
Brent Harvey has stopped the rot, but I'll tell you what, it certainly took some doing. Harvey gets his first, and the Kangaroos get their fifth.
Do you agree that it was Harvey, Sandy?
He got some sort of a little touch on it.
Yep.
There was a
Now,
touch.
whether it was first or second touch, it doesn't matter.
The Kangaroos will certainly accept it. A much
Take
needed
anything at the minute.
So Brent Harvey, fresh from 7 goals for Victoria last week, and he won the 5 goals. He won the E.J. Whitten medal. Clayton takes the mark for the Kangaroos in midfield. Up short, and Stevens takes the mark. Should have been 7. He missed a couple late in the game. Back to Clayton, long to full forward. McKernan's there. And the ball touched over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yeah, that was the typical pattern from North Melbourne, or the Kangaroos, I should say. McKernan took the centre bounce, then charged forward once Stevens won the ball. Just the kick had too much carry on it. He was in a better option than what his opponent in French was. Unfortunately, the kick didn't find him.
Carey tried to take clean possession. Here's Harvey, shot by Scholl. It's close, I think he's kicked it. So a mini comeback by the Kangaroos, but they're still a long way behind.
Yeah, just in terms of general field play, it's no doubt the Port Adelaide team are controlling it. But on the scoreboard, you can just sort of sense the Kangaroos aren't that far away. A couple of their good players in McKernan and also Carey really haven't had much of an influence on this game. McKernan's only had 4 touches and yet to take a mark, whereas Carey's only had 3 and only taken 1 mark.
.23 points, the margin now. At one stage 35 and looking down the barrel, but funny old game. Bell caught, Simpson gets a hurry kick to half forward. That one stuck for Kingsley. He's been pretty impressive. Goes with a long bomb down towards Carey. Couldn't quite hold it. Used the body as we know he can. But the ball just slipped out and they got to throw it.
And just on that centre bounce, Sandy, they restructured or changed their structure of their forward line. Kingsley's come out to basically be the centre half forward. Carey's told all the other players to push up the ground, knowing that it's an important 11 or 12 minutes of play remaining in this second quarter. Maybe he can take 3 or 4 marks and kick his 3 or 4 goals just before half-time.
Here's Harvey again. Francis seems to have a little time. Got the hand pass initially out to Harwood. Off he goes to Burgoyne. Knocked up getting kicks. Just goes to the wide open spaces. And a clever kick in the end. Had no one down the ground. So he sought the sanctuary of the boundary line and he found it.
Sandy, just an injury report on Shane Bond. His left eye's nearly closed up. They don't know whether it's anything broken at all. Left cheekbone. They're going to check x-rays when they get back tomorrow.
Okay, Couchy. We can forget him for the rest of the day. Shannon Grant. Down towards Carey. Ricochets off the boot. This is dangerous here. Stevens. Penetrating hand pass. It's only got to sit for Kingsley. Well done. He's an exciting young player. And here they come. They've been in a bit of a slumber, but I think the sleeping giant is about to awaken.
Yep, I have to agree with you there, Sandy. They've certainly turned it around. Just their forward motion play becomes so predictable. What a deft touch that was by Carey, back into the path of Scholl. And I also believe they got another ace up their sleeve, knowing that they've got Archer up the back end. He could be used in the second half, push forward, maybe Scholl go back to play on one of their tools.
Back in the middle, and the Kangaroos have kicked the last 3 goals in the space of 3 minutes. Bell works it across to Simpson. Long to full forward. Carey takes his second mark, plays on, and that's 4 in 3.5 minutes to the Kangaroos.
This is a terrific game. There's no doubt about that. Both sides have really accepted the challenge. It's a great contest, but there's the difference, as we spoke about earlier, Sandy, of getting the ball forward rather than back. It's just the natural inclination for the players to receive the ball to often get forward of the contest. Quite often coaches don't want that to happen, but it's just a natural inclination for players to do that. Terrific work there by McKernan. Good centre-fan structure, quick hands in tight, good mark Carey, easy goal.
2 goals to Wayne Carey. Kangaroos bouncing back into this game. And they're making a change too. We'll keep an eye on that. They've got a player going from one end of the ground to the other. Looks like Archer, who has been used effectively down in that forward line. But Burgoyne, very good to Harwood. Mickey Martin will try and chop that off at the second attempt. Lockwood gives chase, but he gets it away towards Peter Bell. They've woken up the Kangaroos now. Don't worry about that. On centre wing, strong mark, taken by Clayton. Started on the bench. Has a look now up towards the 50. A long, low kick and a fine grab taken by Daniels. Suddenly the power defence under a little bit of siege. Daniels on half-back. The margin now just 11 points. It was 35 points 5 minutes ago. McKernan over the top. That's a big fly. Maybe even a Cadbury contender. McKernan. Penetrating kick too. Francis, big leap, couldn't take it. Scholl down in front, hand pass intercepted. Oh, they've come to play now, the Kangaroos.
Yeah, they've lifted their work rate, Sandy. There's no doubt about that. Probably terrific mark here by Corey McKernan. No doubt this is a candidate for Cadbury Mark of the Day or Mark of the Year. Sensational grab there by Corey McKernan. What about the tackle by Brent Harvey, also in their forward 50?
Yeah.
Francis clears out of defence towards the members' wing. Dew leads the race, running out of room and taken over by a fierce tackle by Pickett.
They've lifted.
Boy, when he gets you, he hurts. Now look at this from a different angle. Dew, centimetres inside the field of play, and he's crunched into the fence.
Did you feel that down there, Couchy?
I'm glad I was out of the road, just missed it by a metre.
Polton, well done. Dew, Eagleton, the kick short of the 50. Treadray flies like a bird. He's third in the league in marks taken behind Lowe and Richardson. Dished out, back to Dew. Puts it out in front of goal. Lockwood couldn't complete the mark. Archer just gets rid of the kick. In a bit of space out here on the southern stand side of the ground is Rawlings. 20-metre hand pass. Oh, it didn't sit well. Clayton, it didn't reach him. Hurriedly Simpson. Polton camped underneath it, juggles and takes a mark.
He's been quite good. Been very good, very composed, cross half-back.
And Adam Kingsley takes another mark. He's coming up for his 13th kick. I'd just like to point out Burgoyne. He's had 21 possessions and we've got nearly 8 minutes to half-time.
Been good.
Ooh.
51 plays, 62.
So is this bloke, Kingsley.
Yeah.
This is his 14th possession coming up.
Pops it into Francis in the middle.
Brewer's been also very good, Mick, too.
Doesn't show on the stats, but the other blokes have had a lot of leather.
To half forward, Martin, a fraction early. Carey down there as well.
You played a fair amount of footy with Shane Brewer down at Geelong, Couchy. Where do you think his best role for the team? He's across half forward or actually in the centre square?
I like him at half forward, in the centre square sometimes, but he doesn't get a lot of stats, but what he can do is really set you up, and that's important touches he can get.
Carey defends. Burgoyne, interesting little hand pass over the top to Kingsley. They're like Siamese twins at the moment. Daniels, poor kick, Archer. He's got David King on half-back. King heads to the outer side. He's got Byron Pickett having a stroll through the middle, and let him go! Pickett's away.
Open goal square.
Can go all the way. Needs a kind bounce. Lay gives chase. The bounce is cool. Spins away from goals. And Lade strolls out of defence. Chipping dangerously so. That was very, very dangerous.
Scholl.
And now Carey will make him pay. Scholl's in the square. He just lets it go. Carey's kicked another one. Here come the Kangaroos.
Cruel, isn't it? He's had 4 kicks and kicked 3 goals.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the difference. Quality players don't have to get a lot of the ball, but this is just a poor turnover there by Lade. Ordinary kick out of defence, put Bolton under a lot of pressure. Carey was probably looking for Scholl or the goals. He'll be the only one to be able to tell us anyway. Mostly Portly it went through.
5 points the margin here after Port led by 35 earlier this quarter. Lade, who gave up that last one to Carey. Stevens, hurried one by Eagleton. Dew gives chase. Here comes Pickett on him. Dew on the turn with the left. Good kick. Acrobatic by Treadray, but he couldn't complete the mark. Martin. McCartney grabbed when he didn't have it.
And Sandy, it was interesting at that centre bounce. Archer pushed forward. He was in there forward 50, but also it left one of the Port Adelaide players unopposed. It was Chalmers. They had a 4-man forward line as against a 3-man defence for Kangaroos. It was just a matter of who won the ball out of that centre clearance, who was going to be effective.
Oh, trouble now.
Great punch by Daniels, but Simpson had a shot from in front of the pack. Way out wide towards the pocket. Grant. Great tackle by Wilson. Gee, this is a good game.
10-goal quarter at the moment, Drew. Still got over 5 minutes remaining. Kangaroos have booted 6. Of those 10, Michael Wilson, well, he is a great tackler. Lade does some heavy work. Kick is high, and he won underneath it. And I think it may come back. The umpire has gone over here. In fact, it will.
Free kick to Harvey.
Harvey was crunched. So it's going to come back to the little man in the left forward pocket. And he'll attempt to kick the Kangaroos' 10th goal.
You could argue for a relay free then, rather than a free back at the spot, because the ball had gone.
Harvey from 46 metres, going across the face. McKernan couldn't get in front of Lade, who fisted it over the line for one behind. 9-4, players 9-8. Cool Sunday in Melbourne. Gee, they would have been rocking at Billy Bell's Hotel in South Melbourne, the home of Port Power.
But they what?
Imagine Billy. He would have been fired up. But the Power have been dragged in by the Kangaroos.
They'll charge up again at halftime.
You could bet your bottom dollar on that. Daniels goes out towards centre wing. Big fly by Donald Dickey, and that's a good mark. Gets away with a little lightning hand pass towards Francis. He's got support in Stevens. Back he goes to Donald. Still on centre wing. Dickey, it's a poor kick, but it's a good bounce. Oh, I thought it was going to be for Burgoyne, but then Stevens chipped in and comes away. Back up towards left half forward. They all fly in the pack. Harvey looks for another free kick. Daniels locks it up with Simpson, and there will be a ball up on the outer side.
Every opportunity when Port Adelaide win the ball in their defensive part of the ground, you see Paxman charging up the ground, trying to get Carey out of that dangerous part. As you spoke about before, Drew, the impact Carey's had. He's only had 4 kicks, but he's kicked 3 goals straight.
Well, Paxman's played a top game, and he's had 1 touch.
Yeah, he certainly has been good in terms of quietening down Wayne Carey. But I think it was the initial shock that Port Adelaide placed on the Kangaroos by controlling this game.
Still, I remember Robert Klomp once won a television for about one touch.
Yeah.
Number 22 at Carlton.
Well, if you can keep a champion quiet, you've done the job. But here goes again. Carey. Mark not paid. Oh, the fan's not happy. Grant beats a man. Back to Carey. He snaps. He's offline this time. And that's 3 goals, 1 to Wayne Carey.
Port Adelaide, they certainly need a goal just to stem this tide. Kangaroos have kicked the last 5 unanswered goals of this second quarter. They've certainly fought hard to get back into this contest just before half-time with only 3 minutes of the second quarter remaining.
Certainly had to answer the wake-up call.
Francis to Wilson in the back pocket. 62 plays 59. The power just hanging on. Scholl couldn't take it. Support from Stevens. The hand pass away comes back to Scholl from Shannon Grant into Carey. Got hands to it, but that was all. Kingsley is there to assist him, but it's belted out of his hands back towards the 50, and the diving mark is taken by Clayton.
Yeah, that's a good get. He really worked hard to get that mark. Terrific stuff by Clayton. He's a fairly penetrating kick. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he actually makes the distance. Of course, it'll be just a question of accuracy.
Which has been questionable this year. He's booted 4 goals, 5. He's kicking from 55. 4 goals, 6 for the season.
He just got a little bit too close to the man on the mark, knowing they had to kick through the ball to actually get the distance. Quite often, more often than not, when players do that, they become inaccurate.
But a great quarter of football, an amazing comeback by the Kangaroos after the power looked as though they were going to charge away at one stage, leading by 35 points. Wilson.
Daniels took a long time to find Wilson. He was free for a long period of time just on that kick-in setup. But he'll obviously kick the ball long to a tall marking player across centre wing.
Just over 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Heads to the big pack there. McKernan is in front of Lade.
And you called it right, Mick. Twice now Rawlings has been slow to get the ball on. He could have switched the play twice to another Port Adelaide player. That's where they've been dangerous, but slow play.
Yep.
Inside 50. You
Free kick to the King.
can hear the ironical cheers.
And it all comes back from that kick, though, Sandy. Just slow play. You've got to get it on quick, especially if Port Adelaide use their pace.
Gee, Pax starting to take points off Paxman. I'm giving him a rap when he had only 1 kick. It was a few minutes ago. Now Carey's starting to get it a bit.
He was just about dancing with him. Carey directly in front. This for his 4th goal, kicking from 52 metres. He too appears to be away to the left. So they're edging closer point by point, and there is now just 1 in it.
Yeah, the further you're out from goal, it decreases the percentages quite marginally. When you are actually trying to get a lot of distance with your kick, you're better off getting into that 30 to 40 metre range, so players are comfortable when kicking for goal.
Daniels on the run this time. Oh, up the corridor, a bit dangerous. Bell takes the mark, and North stream forward. David King, plenty of forwards. Carey and Scholl. Here comes Scholl. Wide. Capuano offline with his kick, no score.
Sandy, Scholl's actually made a big difference, Craig Scholl, of course, to this Kangaroo structure in the second quarter. He spent a bit of time on the interchange bench. He's had 6 possessions in this second quarter, but most of them have been fairly effective. Just goes to show he's a very important player to the Kangaroos in that part of the ground.
North dominating at the moment, but their last few shots have been behinds. They trail by just 1 point. They could lead by half-time. Blakey. Man in front, Carey. Sandwiched. The umpire will ball it up. 34 seconds left as the clock ticks down.
And there's Steinburner, who's just come on the ground, replacing Polton. Very quick winger-type player.
Well, can North get the lead just before the siren? McKernan knocks it goalwards. Grant is there. Can't win possession. Gee, they crunched through. There could have been a free. And the umpire will ball it up again, which will use up valuable time. So I think Port will cling to this lead at half-time by a point. but they did lead by 35 earlier in this quarter. Clock has now stopped. 10 seconds left. North could still get a score out of this ball up. A lot of players around this ball. Thumped out. Siren just in time for Port. Well, what a game. They lead by a point, but they had to withstand a tremendous comeback by North in the second half.
Also that McKernan and Carey were sensational in that second half of the second quarter. Unfortunately for Port Adelaide, they got two important injuries in Franco and Bond.
Yes, they'll certainly miss those two. Franco's been quite dynamic, but they've got their replacement, so the game goes on. Simpson got a hand to that, but that was all. Kicked up towards the forward line, and Carey almost lost his footing, but recovers, pokes the ball along in front, then cleverly slaps it back to Scholl. Runs out of room, or does he? Yes, he does.
And Sandy, one player that's added a fair amount of difference to this Kangaroos team is young Clayton on centre wing. Shane Clayton, he was recruited from the Brisbane Lions last year. He has fitted into this Kangaroos outfit. There he is on screen. He's had 7 possessions, all in the second quarter, and had the first possession in the third quarter.
Pickett to Harvey. Another throw in.
Could have been nearly out of bounds in the full, couldn't it?
Could have been. There's Harvey. Have a look at this again. Very, very close. Bell, partly smothered. Peter Bell goes again. Slews off the side of the boot. Eagleton should be first to it. Eagleton runs out of defence. He's going to have to be quick. Kingsley continues to give chase and pressure him. And that was good. Down towards centre wing. Look out, boys, because here comes Byron Pickett. Pickett gives it to Blakey. Blakey goes in towards the forward line. In towards Carey, who seemed to cop one on the fingers there.
What about the chase from young Kingsley?
Fantastic, wasn't it?
Magnificent work there. That's what coaches love to see. Even your teammates love to see that from key forwards, charging out of their forward part of the ground to offer some defensive pressure on the opposition.
Burgoyne from the boundary throw in, dragged down. He follows up with it. Now Kingsley. Adam Kingsley, an outstanding first half. He's taken it a long way without bouncing. Gets away with it. Right to centre wing. Up towards the attacking 50. Oh, magnificent mark. Treadray. Only Stuart Lowe and Matthew Richardson have taken more marks in the AFL this year than this boy.
The thing I like about Warren Treadray, Drew, is he tries to find front position all the time. You see him jostling for front spot, and quality players do that, and their percentages to win the ball, if they don't mark it, they may get a free kick from the opposition player harassing.
That was his 5th mark. This for his 2nd goal. It's right to the line. Full points. Port by 7. 10-8 to 9-7.
Yeah, very hard to actually out-muscle and out-strength Mickey Martin. Warren Treadray did it on that occasion. Worked his way to the front position. Got his hands free in the marking contest. Eyes only for the ball. Such an important component of marking is to keep your eyes firmly fixed on the ball on flight. Treadray did that, hence his 2nd goal.
Good start for the Power in this second half. 7 points to their advantage. McKernan sets himself again in the middle. Getting pretty dark here at the MCG now. An overcast day. Lade sets himself. And a more deliberate bounce will go a long way to see. Well done by Simpson as he stormed through the middle. It kicks a high ball up towards half forward. Carey was about a 3 back. Short little kick by Harvey is poked into the pocket. Scholl, Stevens. Stevens does well to Paxman. Paxman gives it away to Wilson. He's on half back, but he looks down towards centre wing. McKernan backs into the pack, then got to stand his ground. That takes courage, but it was a good mark taken by Shane Brewer. Brewer plays on straight away to Eagleton. Eagleton up towards Schofield, just outside 50. Centering ball towards Dew, and the left footer is going to have a shot. 45 metres out, and an angle that should not worry him. Stuart Dew.
He's getting a lot of the ball, Stuart Drew, across half forward. David King, his opponent, will certainly have to tighten up in that part of the ground because Dew is a renowned goal kicker. You give him opportunities inside that forward 50, more often than not, you'll see conversion rate from this type of player.
Yeah, his accuracy has been questionable. 11 goals, 12 so far this season. And I thought initially that was taken over. It was. It's a behind. 11 goals, 13 now.
Seen to the interchange bench for Port Adelaide: Shane Bond, John Fracco, Donald Dickey and Jared Polton.
3 behinds for Stewie Dew today.
11 goals, 15 then.
Stevens, oh, he was playing on. Now the umpire's going to come in and ball this up. But he didn't see trouble looming. Now why is that not holding the ball?
David King off, Martin Pike on.
Palm down to Dew, off the left boot. Oh, he's offline again and hit the post. So he's kicked 4 behinds today, Stewie Dew.
Couchy, there's no doubt Dennis Pagan's making an example of some of the leaders of the group. David King just hasn't been accountable on Dew, getting him off the ground. Probably Pike will pick him up.
You're right about that, Mick. That's why he's taken Martin Pike off. He just believes that he's making an example of his experienced players there to smarten up.
Yep, Pike back on the ground. And you wonder whether some of the blokes who played the State of Origin game last week are feeling the pinch, and the ones who didn't are benefiting from the spell. Comes down to the front, hooked towards the boundary line by Clayton. And out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in.
Just the rest of the bench for Kangaroos is Shannon Grant, Brady Rawlings and Shannon Motlop, who's injured.
Actually, you're right there, Drew, because last night Terry Wallace decided to rest what they would term the dog squad from the State of Origin game in that last quarter. So it's obviously taken its toll.
Kingsley out of bounds there on the full. Well, certainly David King played last week. Burgoyne played for South Australia last week, and he's been excellent today. Franco was injured early.
Trendray.
And another Port Adelaide player from the state game last week was Mead, who of course was suspended for a week, and he's missing. Here come North back into attack from Blakey inside the 50, and the defensive mark to Paxman. Well, he's done the job on Carey today. That's his first mark.
Towards Dew. Pickett is there. Well done by Pickett. Pumps it high in towards half forward. Cool bounce for Capuano, but he recovers well, the big man. Capuano tries to bend it back, but not nearly far enough. Just sneaking in a behind.
And that was just terrific work there from Matthew Capuano, a player who stands at 198 centimetres. Just to have that agility and ability to pick up the bouncing ball at ground level and then have a snap for goal was terrific stuff.
Keep an eye on Stuart Dew after what he appeared to pick up an injury there in that passage of play with Byron Pickett, but he remains out on the ground. We'll keep you up to date with what happens. 4 of them fly, 4 of them go down. Bell gets claimed. He loses it. Scholl, that was clever towards McKernan. McKernan just tried to flick it on. Only as far as Eagleton. Now they've got a chance to clear if Stevens can take it, and he can. Kicks up towards centre wing. Poor kick, although Clayton couldn't take it initially on the half volley, and then gets ripped to the ground. Eagleton's doing well. He gives it back to Fabian Francis. He loses it. Support from Kingsley. A little untidy at the moment, but there's a ton of pressure on. Goes into the middle and finds Schofield. Schofield goes back to Barnaby French. He loses it. Simpson almost throws it out. This is an untidy piece of play. Lade says, let's get out of here. And he does with a big bomb to half forward, and the mark is taken by Harwood.
This kid can play. Yeah, he's an exciting talent. He started the game in defence. He actually initially picked up young Welsh, who started in a forward pocket for the Kangaroos. But halfway during that first quarter, Mark Williams seemed fit to push him forward and be an extra medium-sized player in their forward part of the ground. He's been lively, gives an extra opportunity to kick goals for the Port Adelaide team.
He won't kick a goal on that occasion. His second behind for the day. Stuart Dew up on his feet. This is what happened. You can see him.
Yeah, he just landed funny, didn't he, in the marking contest.
I don't know that he's right.
That'll reduce his kicking distance to about 65 metres.
Here's Pickett.
Well outside the 50. Treadray got hands to it. McKernan Stevens down the line. Well kept in by Clayton.
On the full.
Francis, that might, yes, off his foot, Francis. And Winston Abraham takes the free kick from left half back for the Kangaroos. Beautifully delivered. Simpson juggles. It's taken away from him by Wilson. Michael Wilson, well played, son. Delayed. Clears the Pigeons first and then clears out of defence. Dew couldn't quite get there. And the mark was taken by Blakey. 9-point lead to Port Adelaide. One stage they led by 35 during the second quarter. Run down from behind. Just gets the kick away. Archer goes to ground. Outside of his right boot, Glenn Archer. Clever to Craig Scholl. He marks, he plays on. Open goal square, and he kicks a great goal.
And that's the reason why this is the best game in the world. Just to see every component, the body against body initially with Archer and also Brewer. One went to ground, one kept his balance. All of a sudden, Archer went to ground, the recovery, then the outside pass across his leg, the banana-type check. Carey led. Scholl decided to kick it upon himself. Hard angle, drop punt. Different pages of the game, sensational.
That passage of play just about had everything. 10-8 plays 10-11. Goal's a little harder to buy at the moment in this game as things tighten up. Stevens goes long. We're down towards Carey. With him is Paxman. Carey gets it out the back door. Fabian Francis claimed by Abraham. Look at the tackling of Abraham to try and lock that ball in the area.
Oh, good line. Good line.
Steinberner, that was. Off to Stevens. Stevens comes away with a hand pass. Oh, Kingsley almost lost his head. But he's kept it and he's recovered and he's away. Bouncing his way up towards centre wing. Gives it off to Stevens. Back again. Kingsley. Finally, Stevens wider. He's down to right half forward. He's inside 50. Brewer, the diving attempt, but he couldn't take the mark. Lockwood gets claimed. Almost threw it out to Burgoyne. Pickett comes away. Proppy hand pass, but okay for Harvey. Gee, it's tough and it is tight, but they are clear. Simpson goes back towards Scholl. Scholl one hand to it. Tries to pat it away from his opponent in Wilson. Pickett picks it up magnificently. That is superb play. Off to Harvey. Harvey tumbles a punt towards the King. He gets a cruel bounce. It goes into the pocket. Kingsley quick there. Keeps it in play. Needs a little pass to Bell, and it is a beauty. Bell goes over the top, and this is a mighty piece of football. McKernan.
Magnificent passage of play, as you said, Sandy. And both teams too.
But only
Mickey's missed it. He's missed it.
Only behind. Can you believe it?
And have a look at this for an effort by young Steinberner. Charged through two players, picked the ball up at ground level, rode the bump, and that is a terrific example of watching the ball in your hands and accepting the contest.
Well, we better find out what happens there, because there was an army of blue and white flags and supporters going up as one, all to no avail. It was a behind.
One of the best behinds we've seen for the season.
Sensational, Drew.
Yeah, Couchy. This is on the 50 for Port. They're back into attack. Port lead by 2 points at the moment. Flipped up to Brewer. Brewer beats a tackle. Wide out. He centres cleverly to the top of the goal square. Made it a little bit tough. Hasn't got the ball due. A snap by Treadray. On the line, did Clark touch it? It's a goal. Goal to Warren Treadray. His third.
Unbelievable.
Martin Pike giving the goal umpire a nice old mouthful. He reckons he's touched this.
Yeah, be interesting to have a look at this. Good effort here by Brewer. He tried to find a teammate forward, just didn't hit the ball well enough to find a target. But terrific effort there by Jew. Got ripped off the ball by Martin. Deemed as in possession. But that's a great left foot snap. Was it touched? Behind the line, I'd say, Sandy.
Great effort there by Treadray and co. Well, that's incredible. McKernan missed at one end. Virtually a two-goal turnaround there. Lightning hand pass by Kingsley was superb. Now Steinberner is running again. He's an excitement machine, this kid. Away he goes, takes it from Stevens. Steinberner has a shot. This is a big bomb and he's kicked it. Sensational play.
This is a quick game of footy. Nathan Steinburner. In only his second game of footy, he kicked a goal in his last appearance. Of course, he's from Central District in South Australia. Very quick, winger-type player. Just got forward of the contest, received the ball by hand from Stevens. Good teamwork. That's a penetrating shot on goal. As soon as the ball left the foot, he knew it was through.
Well, Port Adelaide desperately trying to get away from North. They were challenged, and we all thought that North had hit the front when McKernan, we thought had kicked the goal, but it was only a behind. And now look at it. North coming forward again. Carey, right in front, 40 metres from goal. Unselfishly gives it up into the goal square, and that's very clever by the King. And he's given it to Kingsley, and Carey saying, quiet boys, slow it down, a bit like what Gary Lyon did to the Wizard. And Kingsley, in his first game, is about to kick his 4th goal. What a debut for the 20-year-old from Woodville, West Torrens.
And that just goes to show the importance of getting all his teammates up the ground, trying to isolate Wayne Carey in that forward 50. That could be the match-winning ploy because he is such a terrific player. Very good one-on-one.
Kent Kingsley, number 4. A debut at the MCG to remember forever.
Yeah, there's no doubt Carey possibly could have kicked that goal, but to make it an absolute certainty, he gave the ball to Kingsley. And Kingsley, in his first game, he's had 8 kicks. He's kicked 4 goals, 1. Just getting the ball forward, didn't try to invent nothing or over-finesse the ball. Carey got back from the mark fairly quickly, seeing Kingsley running into the goal square, took an easy mark and kicked truly.
Back to an 8-point ball game here at the MCG. 4 goals to Kent Kingsley, 3 to Wayne Carey. In the middle, laid towards Kingsley. That's Adam Kingsley. Gee, he's been fantastic. Steinburner's going to take it again. He's got it on centre wing, and he is a goer. Don't worry about that. Gives it away to Shane Brewer. Brewer goes with a long, high bomb up towards a congested forward zone. They need someone scouting the packs. No one there at the moment. Simpson comes away, and that's okay. He finds Harvey.
Yeah, and Kingsley's already had 7 possessions in this 3rd quarter. He has been a terrific player today for Port Adelaide.
Harvey, perhaps the wrong option. Burgoyne, Brewer, Chalmers, kicks high and long into full forward.
Oh, good work, Archer.
Great work by Glenn Archer. A steamroller as he smashed into that pack and pushed it over the line, conceding 1 behind.
Yeah, and that's what coaches love to see. They just don't want to see easy goals on that goal line from opposition players take an uncontested mark. They must make a contest of it. That's the defenders. Archer certainly charged at that contest, kept his eyes on the ball and punched it through.
Pickett finds Stevens on the kick-in. He looks towards centre wing. Capuano's his target, but he's taken out of it, and the door opens for Treadray. He gives it off to Kingsley, who's knocked up getting touches. Well done as he finds Harwood in the right forward pocket.
Yeah, and this isn't a bad spot to have a shot on goal at the MCG because you've got the cover, irrespective whether it's windy or not, you've got the cover from the MCC stand. All you have to do is kick straight at the goals. The actual grandstands will cut the ball and cut the wind. You kick it hard enough and straight enough, it'll go straight.
Harwood going for his first.
He's brought it back.
It's coming back. It's a flat-looking punt, but it's effective, and he's kicked it.
That's a terrific shot on goal by young Harwood.
Yeah.
He actually sort of half kicked it, and he actually did let the wind do the work.
Gave it to Terry Alderman.
Right to left, the outswinger. It is a terrific mark by Treadray. Quick hands to get the ball going. Forward to Kingsley, and Kingsley, as Sandy mentioned, he's got a lot of the ball in this 2nd quarter, and this is a terrific shot on goal by Harwood. Dropped the ball a little bit outside the line of his leg, and he floated the ball back.
And I'll tell you what, Drew, home sides this weekend in round 10 are finding it very, very tough.
That's right. If you're in one of those competitions and you didn't get your tips in on Friday, so you get the away teams, you are laughing. Ball comes out to Schofield. On the run is Fabian Francis. Beautiful delivery to Harwood. Same spot, just repeat the dose. This time he's given it in. And Burgoyne, who had a lot of the ball in the first half, has gone a little bit quiet since then. He's up to 24 possessions. But I'm not kidding. Halfway through the second quarter, he had about 21. But a phenomenal display just the same. Peter Burgoyne now. Well, the lead is already 15 points for Port Adelaide. This to make it 21 in the gathering gloom. Wouldn't be surprised to see the lights on in the last quarter. Burgoyne, 49 metres. He's got the distance, but he's away to the left. And 2 behinds for the South Australian state representative from last week. Well, Port Adelaide kicked the first 3 goals of the game. They shocked the Kangaroos at the start. And then during the second quarter, they led by 35. And then back came the Kangaroos to trail by just a point at half-time. But Port have gone away again.
It'd be interesting to also ask Couchy down at ground level, is any wind assistance to Ryder Screen, because it's been 15 goals to 9 at the right-hand end, the end that the Port Adelaide team are kicking to.
Well, Stevens gets the hand pass away to Bell. Is there, Couchy, any breeze favouring that end of the ground?
No breeze at all.
None at all.
Sandy, no.
Well, okay, mate. Thank you for that. Look at Pickett. Byron Pickett. He's caught.
It didn't help Corey McKernan, though.
No, it did right. Fabian Francis, turnover, up towards Eagleton, picks up another possession, he's given it to Schofield. Schofield looks in towards full forward. Trent Ray this time is outmarked by the wily old fox, Mick Martin.
He has to come back behind the mark.
He's 2 degrees off going in a straight line.
Yeah, the umpire actually had called him back, called time on.
Well, this is going to test the Kangaroos now, because Port have been dominating again in this quarter. Here's Paxman, does it well, gives it off to Harwood, 55 metres out. That kick's coming back too by Harwood, but not quite enough. And another behind goes on the board.
Even though Carey's kicked 3 goals, I think Paxman's done a pretty good job there.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly
right.
has, Couchy. There's no doubt about it. Gee, that ball travelled a long way, Paul.
It did, Mick, yes.
I think he's inferring there's a bit of breeze down there, Couchy.
Well, if you look behind you, you can't see it, but the flags are limp.
No, we can't see behind us. You're right there. It's Pike. He's a little extraordinary. To the outer wing. Scholl, Wilson, close to the line. Scholl taken over. He asks the question rather politely to the umpire. Do you see any hanging on there? Any hanging on the old blue and white jumper? No. Throw it in.
Craig Scholl, 2 goals. He's had 9 possessions. David King goes for one of his trademark gallops. He approaches the 50 and comes in. And here's Kingsley again.
That's good play.
Kent Kingsley. Well, a few blokes have kicked 5 on debut. Dermot Brereton's one. But, gee, not too many. I don't think this bloke's any Dermot Brereton, but I tell you, on first look at this fella, if he kicks 5 or 6 on debut, will we be talking about his debut in 10 years' time, say he did the same as Dermot?
Yeah, no, it's a terrific effort. It just goes to show when you are the ball carrier and you charge at the defence has to make a decision, either to go at the ball carrier, which they did, and that gave Kingsley opportunity to get free.
Away to the left and thumped through off the hands for minor score. And I think Ricky Barham might have been another one, Mick, who kicked 5 on debut.
Did he, Rick? Yep. He would have wore number 43 in them days.
Correct.
Danny Metropolis.
He kicked 7, actually. Daniel Metropolis, I saw that game. Here's Michael Wilson in the back pocket. It's a 16-point lead to Port Adelaide. But anyway, through all of that, young Kent Kingsley is up there with one of the top debuts in a long, long time.
Certainly is. Been a big day for him. McKernan at the back, can't take it. Peter Bell, the hand pass to Simpson, comes back again. Bell looking to start something up, goes towards the 50 and finds Scholl. Still a long way from home, 55, but he's a good kick. Lovely kick by Scholl, into the square, and it's all blue and white.
It's interesting watching Wayne Carey on that occasion. He actually asked Chris Mitchell if we can have a look at this marking contest once more. It's terrific stuff there by North Melbourne. There's no doubt this young player is a talent. He's got the ability to jump. See off the ball there. Carey was going to be the jumping marking player. He's asking for the shepherding, and I reckon rightfully so. Chris Mitchell, he had a few words with him, the umpire, you've got to allow the player who's got his eyes for the ball a chance to run at the contest. The Port Adelaide defence just jumped in Carey's road. Forgot about Kingsley, who was in the right spot to mark.
Here he is for number 5. Maybe he will do it, Danny Metropolis. 5 to Kingsley. The Kangaroos hang on.
Yeah, terrific play here by young Ken Kisley. Good build-up here. The run of the North for the Kangaroos midfielders, Simpson and Bell, certainly came into the fore. Scholl's been lively since quarter time across half forward. And that's a terrific penetrating kick. It is this marking contest. Wilson was the player that went to Carey. Forgot about the body contact with Kingsley.
10 points the margin. 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Can North Melbourne overcome this Port Adelaide side, who are really throwing everything at them? Quick exchange in the middle was excellent. They're inside the 50 already. Martin in front. Treadray with him. Mighty Mick keeps going. Has a bit of a fumble. Nick Stevens is there. Treadray followed up. Well done by Warren Treadray. Oh, that's fantastic football. Thumped the full forward. Chalmers takes a couple down with him. Peter Bell for North. Clears to Blakey. In the gathering gloom, John Blakey. Unmarked on the outer side is Martin Pike. Pike up towards half forward, McKernan. 75 metres from goal, Corey McKernan. Skirts around them. Great running. A shot for goal by McKernan. Magnificent! And North within 4 points.
And Sandy and Drew, you go a long way to watch a better game of football. This game's had everything. It's been a high-pressured game. There's been plenty of defensive pressure. There's been plenty of offensive talent. We'll see McKernan. What about the shepherd there by Scholl, who just got Wilson off the line of the chase for McKernan? But a big man, 6'6", on the run, to convert like that, that is quality.
Yes, this is some game. 13-10 plays, 13-14. What an effort by Corey McKernan. And what a shocking bounce by the umpire. King. Because of that bounce, the Kangaroos are starting at half back. Pike pokes it back towards the centre. Laid over the top. The lightning hand pass off to Kingsley. Wide to Schofield on the left half forward, but it bounces away from him. He's able to keep it in play. Then has a look downfield. No doubt Treadray will come into his calculations, and he's got him in the pocket. Oh, gee, it's got dark all of a sudden, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has here, Sandy, but Schofield held the ball. When you've got the footy in your hands, you're in control of the game. We all know that. He just backed his ability, knowing that he's a terrific user of the ball by foot. He waited and waited and waited, showed great poise, waited for Treadray to get free into space, and found him on a lead.
A vital 2.5 minutes now, as Treadray has kicked a beauty. What a goal! If it's not happening at one end of the ground, it's happening at the other.
And that's his third for the quarter, Sandy. He's kicked 4 goals straight today. Been a terrific focal point across half forward for the Port Adelaide team. But here's Schofield. He could have kicked the ball probably into centre corridor to find Francis. There's his hands in the air. He just held it and held it, waited for Treadray to lead into space. Probably low percentage where he actually received the ball to make the shot on goal a little bit more difficult, but he was equal to the task.
Port have kicked 5 goals to 4 in this third quarter, and they lead by 10 points. Blakey for the Kangaroos. Away to David King. Doesn't he love this? He just shrugs off the tackle. Thumps it long. Beautifully delivered. Gee, that was a good effort in front by Harwood, and he'll take a free kick.
And Harwood's been shifted from forward to back to play on Kingsley, knowing that he has been a danger player for the Port Adelaide defence. He's kicked 2 in this third quarter also.
And Port's system really good. Harwood towards the southern stand side. Schofield finds a man on his own, but run down by was Adam Kingsley. Schofield soccers off the ground. Stevens close to the boundary line, just behind the wing. Short of half forward. Winston!
Terrific body use. Just got his opponent underneath the flight of the footy, and Kingsley kept his hands free and his eyes on the ball. Good judge mark.
Kick by Abraham. Big pack. McKernan in front. Can't take the mark. Ball knocked up the ground. Carey back towards the 50. Blakey, just over a minute remaining to three-quarter time. Here's Kingsley again, left footer, centering kick, all Port, and the mark taken by Paxman.
Probably the only mistake he's made for the day. He's better off just going long to the front of the goal square, kick it high, shoulders in that part of the ground. He certainly would have made a contest.
Paxman to Stevens. Well, this game is absolutely wide open. And we're going to be in for a big final quarter.
Sandy, at this stage of the game, players know on the time how long to go it usually is. They look at the time clock, knowing there wouldn't be much left in this quarter. So they basically just hold the footy up. This is smart play.
Over 5 minutes of time on played. He goes to the outer side. Treadray sees it over the line. Treadray has 4 goals. All at that end of the ground. 3 of them in this quarter. McKernan kicked a beauty just 5 minutes ago. Does battle with Lade again. Simpson tries to get clear, but he can't. Kingsley caught by Abraham. That means trouble. He's going nowhere. Another baller. Kingsley fantastic today.
Both Kingsleys.
Yep. Adam, 18 kicks, 7 hand passes, 5 marks, and there's the siren. Time runs out as Wilson takes the footy under his arm at three-quarter time. So what a scenario.
Spot on. They're just very keen to win this.
Yes, they certainly are. It's been an absorbing duel, though, and it's not over yet. The lights are on, by the way. Kingsley's kick straight up and down. McKernan through, but without the footy. Still in the middle of the ground. This first break's going to be absolutely vital. Blakey tried a little toe poke, then gets a better kick. High ball by Blakey, down towards the 50. Carey caught behind, and the mark is taken by the man you were talking about, Paul Couch, in Stephen Paxman. Gives it away towards Dickey, who kicks to centre wing.
Yeah, good body mark.
Blakey edges out Eagle, and that was good use of the body, Mick.
Yeah, terrific body mark there by John Blakey. Good experience.
Blakey to half forward. Carey. Paxman seemed to be wearing him, covering him like a blanket. Nevertheless, play goes on. Shannon Grant from 50 metres belts it back in towards goal. The juggling mark. 1, 2, 3 attempts. Not going to be paid to Kingsley. Pressure now on Harwood, but he gets a hurried high ball back towards half-back. And the mark is taken by Burgoyne to steady it down, Drew.
Well, have a look at this attempt by the youngster Kingsley. Well, a couple of touches, but never controlled the ball quite correctly. No mark awarded. Polton dives and takes a mark on the southern stand wing. 10-point lead to Port Adelaide, who led by 14 at quarter time, 1 at half time.
Oh!
Treadray with a climb on Mick Martin. Hand pass missed the target. Oh, trouble for you, Simpson. They're going backwards north. Brewer in the pocket. He's only 30 metres out. Didn't miss by a long way, but a behind. Shane Brewer, 2 goals, 1 today. An 11-point lead to Port, who've never beaten North in 3 previous attempts.
It'll be interesting to see how they set up this attack. They've gone wide to a short option. King will have to go back and kick over the mark. I think North are just better off getting the ball as quick as they can. QLD, quick, long and direct towards the area of Wayne Carey.
Queensland. Into the middle, Abraham. Well, that's the way Winston's thinking at the moment. Long, down towards the forward line. Well, he's got a bit of a rubbery chest just for the moment, Kingsley, because he spilt that one as well. But it was difficult. He was full tilt and under pressure. We've got a throw in.
Mickey asked me about that breeze. I went out there at three-quarter time. There's no real breeze to speak of. A little bit swirly, but that's about all.
Thanks, Couchy.
There's Shane Brewer. Harvey almost copped one high. Francis sneaks away from him, though. Gives it off to Eagleton. Eagleton gets away from David King. Goes to half forward. Martin almost got a hand to him, but Treadray tries to get the hand pass away. Look at the tackling of Pickett. Ball spills free to Treadray. Oh, Treadray has kicked an absolute gem. That could be a match-winning goal.
That is an unbelievable goal. For a man of his size and his ability to just wheel back onto his right side. Two North Melbourne players went to this contest. Mickey Martin decided to go at it. We see a good tackle here by Pickett, but Dew was good enough to get the hands back into the path of Treadray. But that's terrific ball control for a man of his size. What a talent this young lad is.
Well, the last time Port Adelaide won in Melbourne was against Carlton round 7 last year. That was the day Treadray took about 18 marks and kicked 8 goals. And he might be the man to inspire their next victory in Victoria. He's kicked 5 goals straight here today. But the Kangaroos not to be outdone yet. Back inside the 50. Mark dropped by Paxman. Wilson under pressure. Slides it away to Dickey. That's good combination. Harwood has been good at both ends. Kicked by Harwood short of centre wing. And an excellent mark taken by Pickett. He hits the ground running. He hasn't taken the mark of the year today like he did against Port last year, but a great kick. And here's Kingsley again right in front.
That's magnificent play there by Abrahams. He was a player that really took the mark, but he's just got great balance. As soon as he lands on the ground, he's off again, as we see here. Wheels back inside, took one bounce. Kingsley led hard into that space right in front of goal, and that's terrific ball delivery to your forwards.
Young Kent Kingsley, a 20-year-old from Woodville, West Torrens. He could have a 6-goal debut in AFL football if he kicks this. He's kicked 5-1. And there's half a dozen.
There's Timmy Harrington, the runner for the Kangaroos. Played, of course, for Collingwood and also the Kangaroos. But Kingsley, he's been a terrific young player today. Welsh is coming onto the ground. Brady Rawlings is coming off the ground. Welsh may be an extra marking type of player. It will have to be certainly watched by the Port Adelaide defence. But Kingsley, terrific debut, 6 goals, 12 kicks.
Back to an 11-point ball game. What a day for Kingsley. What a day for the Kingsleys. Brewer at the bottom. Held it for a while. And we've got another ball up. Couching.
Sandy, the Port Adelaide bench. Bond, Franco, Stephen Daniels and Barnaby French.
And a couple of those taking no further part in the game. Looks as though the Kangaroos are making another change too.
Shannon Grant coming off for Clayton.
Yep. Brewer goes charging through, gives it to Fabian Francis, flicks it back towards the centre. Couple of roos flew. One was Pickett. Burgoyne hand pass is very good. Laid. Oh, he's gone a long way, has Brendan, but it matters not. He's got away with it. Dew gives it across to Schofield. Schofield goes in towards goal. One grab by Chalmers and pushed defensively over the line for one behind.
Just in midfield, Sandy, a couple of Kangaroos players decide to go at the contest. I just think they were better off, one, forming a bit of a zone and just waiting for the buffer just in case the ball come over the back, because they were certainly exposed if the Port Adelaide team won the ball at ground level, which they did.
Yeah, Byron Pickett should have stayed down, Mick.
Yep, for sure.
2 straight kicks the difference. Just under 15.5 minutes remaining.
Just had to hedge his bets a bit.
Glenn Archer still in the back pocket. Carey couldn't quite take the mark. Pike gets clear for Martin. Standing start kick by Mick Martin. Short of half forward. Scholl fighting hard for it. Off the ground by Steinberner. Well played. Into midfield. Brewer. Irresistible football by Port. Oh, Lockwood couldn't quite get there to take the mark. Archer under pressure. You're gone! Play on, says the umpire. It spills to Martin. Round the corner. Anthony Stevens gets a bad bounce. Burgoyne. Good tackle by Stevens. The ball pinned in. And the umpire's going to ball it up.
This game's got everything, Mick, hasn't it?
Oh, it's a sensational game of footy, Sandy. There's no doubt about that. Look at this tackle there by Stevens. The bounce, the ball didn't go his way, but what about the recovery? Got the ball out of Burgoyne's hands. He's been a terrific player, Burgoyne, 27 possessions. But all in all, this game has had everything. Good foot delivery, good handballs, good marks, good tackling, fierce desire to win the loose ball. It's been a game that's had everything.
14.5 minutes left. Blakey out of the air. Straight up and down. Play on is the call. Brewer goes with a big smash, but straight to Bell, who flicks it in towards the centre of the mark, taken by Welsh.
And that's that inside football that we've become well and truly known from the Kangaroos. Play centre corridor, get it quick towards goal.
That's what they've done, because Scholl out on the lead has taken the mark 50 metres out.
And here's a thumping kick of the ball, Sandy. Don't be surprised if Scholl actually gets the journey. He'll go back, he'll kick from 55 metres, but I got no doubt he'll certainly get the trip.
Scholl over 3,200 metres as far as Mick's concerned, and he has got the trip. Great call.
Well done, Bertie Bryant.
At the end of the day, I suppose, and Lee Matthews taught me one thing: you've got to know your strengths of your opposition. And no doubt, when you watch footy as often as what we do up in the commentary box, or just being a spectator of the game, you certainly know the capabilities of players you're playing against or playing with. And Scholl is just a thumping kick. Yeah. Such a terrific player outside that 50-metre zone to kick accurately for goal.
6 points the margin as the Kangaroos have hit the ton. Burgoyne's hand pass. Somehow he found a teammate in Dew. That's good too to Brewer. He's got Burgoyne going past for a second go at it. Peter Burgoyne, 49 metres out. Away to the right. And a 7-point lead to Port.
Handy point.
He's kicked 3 behinds, no goals. Burgoyne, who had a brilliant first half. Dennis Pagan, we believe, there in the dark in the coach's box. Well, North have been on the best winning streak for the season. They've won 5 in a row. It was matched yesterday by St Kilda, who won their 5th in a row. And they were long odds on to beat Port here today, the Roos, but they've got the job in front of them.
He can play on too, Stevens. Good play, good build-up.
And he does. Now he's going to have to put the old foot on the accelerator. In towards Blakey. There's a chance here for the Kangaroos. Blakey's penetrating kick goes down towards Kingsley and co. Welch needs to give it away, and he does to Scholl. Scholl goes goalwards and has kicked it. A 1-point ball game.
And Sandy, there's another example of a player committing himself to the marking target when he really didn't have to. Wilson was the player. Okay, it looks terrific courage, but it's dumb footy. We have a look here. Blakey kicking the ball long. Wilson, great act of courage, but at the end of the day, I think it mightn't have been Wilson actually. I'm not sure who it was. It might have been
Dickey.
Donald Dickey it was. But his opponent won the ground level ball in Welsh, who gave the ball to Scholl. You just have to play tight.
1 point the difference at the MCG. The Kangaroos haven't led all day, but they're coming hard at Port Adelaide. And we have just under 11 minutes remaining. McKernan out of the middle. Not much distance, a heap of height. No mark. Ground level ball now. And eventually the umpire has to blow the whistle and come in and ball it up. What a game here. And actually there are just signs that Port Adelaide's fantastic performance mightn't bear any fruit here today, because the Kangaroos are coming hard. And another kick towards the goal square. They trail by a point. No mark. Rovers wanted. Here's Scholl again. He's kicked a couple in a couple of minutes. Oh. Welsh charging through. The ball held.
I think that's a good decision. Could have been given in the back or could have been given holding the ball. I think the umpire did the right thing. The good tackle was probably Dickey. Brewer's the one maybe over the shoulder or in the back.
So the ball pinned in. It's a ball up about 20 metres from goal. Cleared by Lade outside the 50.
Clayton waits for the bounce. It bounces away from him. Should give it off, and he does. The Kangaroos doing the bulk of the attacking. Welch will be the flyer in front of the pack. Couldn't control it, though. Comes to ground, and it's locked up for another ball up. This time on the 50. Nick Stevens picks himself up off the turf and is set to go again.
Yeah, good play there by Clayton. Just got away from the contest. He was the player that the Port Adelaide team went through. His starting point was very good.
There's a rainmaker from McKernan. Difficult one to mark. Brewer showed courage. Comes wide towards Stevens. He's caught by Scholl. Taken to ground and lose it. Well, there was a free kick and the advantage is being paid now to the Port power side, but that has gone out of bounds on the full. Clayton will bring it back in. 11 minutes left. anybody's game. An absolute sizzler here at the MCG, and a good one grab by Corey McKernan. Asking for 50, but getting their result in the affirmative from the umpire.
Yeah, and Corey McKernan has worked his way back into this game, but he has struggled over the course of the year to kick goals. About 4 or 5 years ago, you say this would nearly be a certainty in his conversion.
11 goals, 7 coming into today's game for the season, and he booted 1 in the third quarter. That was a beauty on the run. This is from 55. It's away to the right. Is it a mark by Kingsley?
Might be a point. Might be a point.
I think Kingsley's cramped up, and the all clear is going to be given. 1 behind.
Oh, that was interesting.
So it is interesting now because scores are level.
Have a look at this, Sandy. Was he over the line?
Oh, very difficult to tell.
Very difficult to tell. Umpire's in the perfect position. He was confident the ball was over. He called mine as soon as Kingsley had his hands on the footy.
Well, boy, is that an example of how a game can be decided by a centimetre. Stevens goes back to Archer.
Oh.
Glenn Archer with a bit of shepherding from McCartney. Kick by Archer to half forward. McKernan!
Oh,
Brilliant
play.
mark.
Gee, he stood up, hasn't he, Mick?
Yeah, he certainly has.
To centre half forward. Winston! Tried to repeat the effort from Manuka Oval last year. David King ran into a brick wall. Port have it, and they clear out of defence. Kingsley to centre wing. Dew in plenty of space. Has time to set it up. Kicks long, they set. No mark, and that will be a ball up about 48 metres from goal. 16,429 here at the MCG today. And what value for money? 107 each.
Sorry, boys, I was only 571 people out. I did say 17,000 at the start of the day.
Thank you, Mick. Here we go. Daniels, I think, onto the ground. Harvey takes the short one from Stevens. Anthony Stevens wandered down the ground at a fairly rapid rate, but he's ignored. I don't know why, because he's kicked to a 2-on-1. Daniels has just come onto the ground, and he has been collared. Welcome back.
Yeah, and that just looked like a tired kick from Harvey.
Yeah.
8 days ago, he was terrific in the State of Origin game for Victoria against South Australia. That was just a tired kick in the area of Carey.
Gee, that was great work by Lade, getting down towards Stevens. Burgoyne is on centre wing.
He's been outstanding.
Clever little hand pass to Francis. Another one to Steinburn, and they're away. This kid has got some dash. Steinburner's kick goes into the pocket. Martin couldn't take it on the half volley, and he fell at the critical stage. The door may open for Treadray. Gives it off to Schofield. Tries to stroke the tackle. He gets caught, and he's pinned.
Yeah, terrific tackle there.
Great stuff. Harvey's away, and the Kangaroos are away on centre wing with Stevens.
8 1/4 minutes remaining. Now there's a free kick off the ball up the ground here.
Yeah, certainly.
And it's to North. It's against Daniels. Poor Daniels, who's had a heap kicked on him by Kingsley, has come onto the ground to pick up Scholl, who's fresh from kicking 2, and he's given away a free in the first minute.
Yeah, he certainly has. That was holding. I was watching that passage of play further afield, knowing that Stevens would wheel in onto his left side. Scholl was the target player. Certainly holding was there.
Craig Scholl to break the deadlock. He's missed the goal, but the point puts them in front. Oh, he's kicked 4 goals, 1. That looked a certainty. And Mark Williams saying, strike me, what can I do with Daniels now?
Interesting having a look at the Port Adelaide team. They're all congregating to this side of the ground, trying to open up the other side. No doubt they've got the switch in mind. At this stage, doesn't look, no one's on. Yeah, there's the switch, trying to just transfer play and open up the other side of the ground, trying to get the runners to that part of the ground.
Due to Dickey. What a game. To Brewer. He's in the middle. Short little pass. Treadray's his man. Couple of metres in front of Glenn Archer. Treadray. The lead is on. Martin drops in the hole. Oh, what a grab by Lockwood.
That is talent.
Mick can't believe it.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Mick did everything right, cut off the angles, and that's what defensive play is all about. He got in front of Lockwood, limiting him to his lead to one side of the ground. Lachlan led to the side that he could actually run into, but that's a terrific jump in the air, but more importantly, he kept his balance while he was in the air. You can just sort of sense him grab hold of himself, watch the footy in the air, and take a well-judged mark.
Kicked 3 goals in the first term. A blazing return. He's got this to wrestle the lead back, and he has done it for the Power. They're back.
And Sandy, he kicked 3 in the first quarter. He hasn't had a kick since. Welcome back, and now he's kicked 4 goals and put him in front.
Yeah, this has been magnificent. Terrific game of football. From every player out there, they've gave their heart and soul to their clubs they're representing. The work rate from every individual has been extreme. They've ran hard, they've worked hard in close, they've accepted the contest. Last 7 minutes, it'll be exciting.
We're back in the middle. The lights have been on in this last quarter. A 5-point lead to Port Adelaide. 7 minutes remaining in the game. It goes North's way, but Stevens can't get it out. Adam Kingsley's got hold of him. Kingsley, 27 possessions today.
Yeah, he's done a terrific job on Peter Bell. He's been assigned that role. Burgoyne in the midfield. He's had 30 possessions. He's played wide of Stevens, who's had 23. But basically, that midfield group is very quick, and they use the ball well from Port Adelaide's point of view.
Again, it goes North's way. Stevens, deep inside the 50. Scholl, the hand pass to Harvey. Last week's hero has done it again.
That's speed. What a game. Absolutely got everything. How important has Craig Scholl been in this last 3 quarters? Hasn't had a lot of the footy in terms of being a 20-possession player. He's had 15, but he's kicked 4, and he's invited the overlapping player. Collingwood, when I was at Collingwood, we had a team rule, no U-turns. No doubt the Kangaroos have got the same rule. Scholl could have snapped, went onto his left or right side, but invited the runner, gave him the hands, and he kicked truly.
Kangaroos back in front. Critical out of the middle. Under 7 minutes remaining. Desperate times. Brewer's been very effective trying to get it out of the middle. He goes again, but this time he's got some pretty stiff opposition. He's also got some assistance in the form of Dew. That was David King, who hassled him all the way. Bounces clear towards Kingsley. Kingsley's 55 metres out for the Power. Bends it back. It's a high ball. Lade was his target. He's still there. Pike tries to get through. Heavy traffic. He gets caught.
Too high.
He's got a free kick for a tackle too high.
And he's reversed it.
The other way. He's reversed it.
That's what I hate that about this game of footy. Little soft things like that. Decisions by umpires make it. A decision like that. I know it's an undisciplined act, but there wasn't really much in it. You could just see the accentuation there by Lade. Smart play, I suppose. But at the end of the day, that's a soft free kick. And making a decision that can determine the outcome of a game of footy.
When the game is delicately poised as it is.
I agree. Totally agree, Sandy.
That is ridiculous. However, it's been paid and we live with it, and Lade will shoot for goal to put the Power back in front. And he has done it. Brendan Lade back into this lineup this week. He's got his first goal, and Dennis Pagan cannot believe it.
Yeah, he'd be absolutely seething. You know, they just can't afford, one, to talk back to umpires or do an undisciplined act. But I reckon this was a pretty soft free kick. You know, he's jumped on top of his back. His teammates basically flying the flag. Get off him, give him some time to get off. He's pulled him off because obviously it's a team rule.
So after giving away the free kick that nearly might cost the game, Byron Pickett on the bench and on the phone to Dennis Pagan.
Yep, back-chatting to umpires or do an undisciplined act like that, get removed from the ground, maybe because it's one of their 10 commandments.
Port by 5 points. A high ball by Francis. Oh, what a mark by Stevens. 5.5 minutes left.
Should be a draw this, Drew.
It should be a draw. Honestly, really should. Both teams have been sensational. Peter Burgoyne. Well, Port have won in Sydney and Brisbane this year. Can they win in Melbourne as well? They've won at the MCG once before. Short one to Francis, and the front on got him over the eye by the looks.
Yeah, put it too early to be actually closing down the game. There's still 5 minutes of play. They've just got to continue to play instinctively and do what they've done well all day.
Kick by Francis to the 50. Martin Pike got to the front but couldn't take the mark. Well played, Polton. Steinburner, Burgoyne. They've got the ball, they've gone back about 40 metres. Back to the 50. At full stretch, Archer couldn't take the mark. Treadway centres. Lockwood right in front.
Play on.
Oh, play on. Back it goes to Eagleton. On the turn, Eagleton offline with his kick and out of bounds on the full, no score. Still 5 points the difference.
Drew Byron Pickett's come back on.
He'd have a bit of a sore ear, wouldn't he, Couchy?
Yeah, they just put cotton wool in it.
Back into play. Barnaby French got a hand to it, but that was all. Shannon Grant does the roaming work and skips into the middle. He's got Harvey lurking there. Brent Harvey down towards the forward line. A big thrust now for the Kangaroos and a big mark taken by Scholl. Gee, when he could turn it on, Craig Scholl, he could be a match winner too. He's booted 4. The boy from Horsham. He's shooting for number 5. And a goal here will again give the Kangaroos a 1-point lead.
Yeah, he's been an outstanding player, as we spoke about. Very important kick.
Scholl from 40 metres. Don't worry about that, he's put it straight through the middle. 3 to Scholl in this final quarter, 5 for the match. And this is a toss of the coin affair.
Yeah, of his 139 goals he's kicked in his league career out of his 208 games, there'd be none more important than that one. He certainly would have felt the pressure. But that's a terrific body mark, pushing back into the contest. There's Daniels once again, who's been beaten comprehensively by 2 opponents today. Scholl's been outstanding.
Oh, Stephen Daniels must be feeling like the bloke who bowled to Bradman at the moment. Back in the middle. Kangaroos by 1 point with just under 4 minutes left. Polton a little hand pass away. Lade kicks wide towards half-forward flank. They give chase. Dew leads the race. Archer virtually pushed into it.
Magnificent.
That is great play by Archer, isn't it?
Absolutely. From all 3 players, actually, I think Sandy should be given a pat on the back. Dew, also Treadway. Archer defied the odds. He was the rose between the 2 thorns. He was 1 against 2. He certainly had to work hard to find front spot.
Clean possession, Brewer. Off to Dew. Centering kick right in front of goal. Ball's whipped out. Hasn't cleared the 50. Blakey does well, the veteran. A high ball to midfield. They jostle for position. Harvey's there once more. Brent Harvey, the EJ medal winner last week, kicked the goal to put the Kangaroos in front a while ago, and they're in front again now by a point. 3 minutes left at the MCG. I don't reckon there'll be too many South Australians in their seats watching this at home.
It's been a great contest. Everybody concerned has really had a red-hot go. Important for the Port Adelaide team to sort of separate a little bit. They've been very good in these clearances. Burgoyne, Burer, these types of players.
Cleverly done by Brewer to come over the ruckman. Made probably 25 metres and has given Stuart Dew a chance. He goes in towards centre-half forward. They need a mark. Polton couldn't provide it at the moment. Lockwood taken out of it. Here's an opportunity for Fabian Francis. He goes goalwards and he's booted it. Now they're back in front. Someone please give me a winner.
Oh, what a last 2.5 minutes of play this will be. Unbelievable contest from everyone. Terrific stuff there by Lockwood. That's a terrific kick to the advantage of Polton, firstly by Dew. Couldn't take the mark. The terrific attack of the ball by Lockwood. Good strength. Mickey Martin tried to hold him in the tackle. But that's terrific spot there by Francis to get front of the contest to receive the handball and then kick truly for goal.
In this last quarter, the Kangaroos have kicked 5 goals 2 and Port Adelaide 4 goals 3. It is that tight. Port by 4 points. And a ball up and we all catch our breath. 2 minutes 20 remaining.
And what about the urgency of that contest? The smother firstly, secondly Brewer's attack on the ball, then the ball at ground level. Stevens crashed his whole body through. That's what wins games of footy, the hardness in approach at the ground level ball.
The 231s go up against each other. It goes McKernan's way, tapped on by Archer, who's drifted forward. The ball flipped out in the direction of Harvey.
A free kick.
He overruns the ball.
Had to be a free kick to Harvey.
Yep, whistle's gone.
Advantage.
Oh, advantage now. It goes to the goal square. Scholl's there again, punched away. Forward pocket, Peter Bell. He hooks towards goal and has kicked a miracle.
That's a miracle. You call it, Sandy. Drew, that is a miracle.
Oh.
1 point the difference, but we still don't know who's going to win.
I will go on record, this is the best game of the year. I know the Geelong and Western Bulldogs game earlier on in the year was a sensational contest, but in terms of every facet of the game, the tackling, the defensive pressure, the skill component, the marking, the work rate, it's had it all. What a contest.
What a memorable day. There's only 16,429 people here. But I tell you what, they'll remember this game for a long, long time. There's a pretty crude bounce, and it may open the door for the Power once again. They surge down towards half forward. We're into time on now. Just over a minute remaining.
What you will see, I dare say, the Kangaroos are going to tell all these players to flood this part of the ground and leave maybe one player, Carey versus Paxman, across half forward. Basically, they'll just try to really make it a congestion, a real, basically, tight fight in close and close up the space for the Adelaide team.
Well, that's what they've done. Pickett's kick goes straight to Burgoyne. They need a mark. They haven't got it. Simpson soccers off the ground. Comes back towards Fabian Francis. He gets caught. Gives it to Barnaby French. He finishes with Steinburner. He's outside 50. The Power need a mark. Big pack of players. No mark taken. Ball spills down towards Simpson. He finds Martin. Martin wobbles at only 5 or 6 metres. Stuart Dews under the pump. He's a left footer. He bends it back. And it's one behind. It's one behind, and scores are level.
Oh, Stewie Dew has kicked 5 behinds today. No goals, 5 behinds.
And 44 seconds on the time clock remaining. There's no doubt, if the game finished now, the right scenario would exist.
Well, you're dead right there. It deserves to be a draw. And don't worry about what cliches are used. This is dead set fact today. Down towards half forward though for the Kangaroos. It's not dead yet. It's back towards the centre. Shannon Grant is ripped to the ground. There's about 4 Power players around him, and he's going
Free kick to Grant against Francis. Undisciplined act.
Oh, he plays on quickly. Gives it out to Bell. They've got Harvey down inside 50.
Oh.
Harvey's only got to kick a score. He's only got to score. He goes for goal. He kicks a score. He kicks a behind. 16 seconds left. He's put them in front with a behind.
Very important for the Kangaroos to man up. No doubt Fabian Francis will go straight down the ground, look for the long target. You'll probably see French or Lade try to tap the ball on and keep it alive.
A mighty torpedo to the middle of the ground by Francis. It's punched forward. Abraham gets the hand pass out. Kangaroos are going to win it. David King with the last shot, and he kicks a goal. They win by 7.
On the siren.
Right on the siren.
Look at him. Look at the joy.
Kangaroos have come from nowhere.
But feel a moment for the poor Port Adelaide team in the centre of the ground. You can just see them. Their effort was terrific.